One moment made fans gag. Another made them furious. Both happened inside the same family and both exposed a truth viewers can't ignore. From Garrison spooning straight out of what looked like a jar of mayonnaise, to Paedon laughing off the suffering of Solomon's 700 wives. Sister Wives fans still debate. Are these just family pranks and slip-ups or glimpses into something much darker? Stay with us, because the truth is stranger than anything TLC could script.
I'm one of those people who wants to be very fiscally responsible and very about, like, let's be responsible with our money. And so he wants to, like, sort of undermine that.
Yeah,
Part
her finances
1.
knocking her down.
Now, we revisit that moment and the shocking fallout that fans still can't stop talking about. Did Paedon expose more than he ever intended? Stay with us. Game night at the Browns has always been meant to show laughter, bonding, and togetherness. But in Season 12, a seemingly innocent conversation about King Solomon and his 700 wives turned into something far more disturbing. Leon, outspoken and sharp, called the story of Solomon's endless wives disgusting. But Paedon? He laughed. And then he said something fans will never forget. They could have left any time. On the surface, it sounds dismissive. But dig deeper, and you'll see why fans called this one of the most misogynistic moments ever caught on Sister Wives. To truly understand why this shook fans, we need to rewind. Paedon wasn't just any teenager in a big family. He was raised under the shadow of Kody Brown, father whose views on patriarchy, obedience, and control defined the very foundation of this polygamist household. So when Paedon laughed off the suffering of 700 wives, blaming them instead of questioning the man at the top, fans instantly recognized it. It wasn't just a boy's joke. It was an echo of Kody himself. But here's the twist. Fans didn't just stop at calling Paedon's words insensitive. They connected it directly to something bigger, generational misogyny. On Twitter, one fan wrote, "This is exactly what Kody taught his kids: blame the women, excuse the men." Another said, "Scary to think Paedon might carry Kody's toxic views forward." And as the episode re-aired years later, fans began asking a chilling question: was this just an offhand remark? Or a glimpse of the future? The backlash was immediate. Social media lit up. Clips went viral. And Paedon's reputation, once just the funny son, became stained with something far darker. For women watching across America, this wasn't just TV drama, it was personal. They saw daughters, sisters, and themselves in Leon's reaction. The disgust wasn't about history, it was about the reality of living under excuses that men have used for centuries. Christine's fans especially connected the dots. This wasn't a boy's slip, it was proof of how deeply Kody's worldview had seeped into his children. And for many, it confirmed their worst fears. Misogyny doesn't just vanish with a new generation. It mutates. It survives. Unless it's challenged. Years later, Paedon would continue making headlines, sometimes for speaking against his father, sometimes for controversial jokes. But this Season 12 moment remains the earliest glimpse of a conflict inside him. Is Paedon breaking free from Kody's control? Or is he carrying the same damaging views forward? That question remains unanswered. But one thing is clear. Fans will never forget the night a game revealed a truth far more serious than laughter. Now we turn it to you. Was Paedon's remark just teenage ignorance or proof that Kody's influence runs deeper than anyone imagined? Drop your thoughts below, below because the Sister Wives fandom is divided and your voice matters. Part 2. Imagine sitting with your family, and suddenly someone dips a spoon straight into a giant jar of mayonnaise, eating it like dessert. Disgusting? Disturbing? Or downright hilarious? In Season 7, Episode 2 of Sister Wives, fans thought they witnessed one of the most stomach-churning moments in Brown family history. But what was really going on? And why do fans still talk about it today? Stay tuned, because the truth behind that jar is both shocking and surprisingly sweet. The scene takes place during Kody's big surprise Vegas party. The atmosphere was loud, chaotic, filled with family antics. And then came Garrison. Cameras caught him casually spooning straight from what looked like a massive jar of mayonnaise, cool as ever, like it was the most normal snack in the world. Viewers at home were horrified. The comments section exploded instantly. Is he eating mayo straight out of the jar? Some fans said they nearly gagged, others laughed nervously. But one thing was clear: this was not your average family party moment. To understand why this little prank hit so hard, you have to picture the Brown family dynamic. Big family. Big personalities. And Garrison? He was always the mischievous one, the jokester who loved to push the line between funny and gross. So when he appeared to devour spoonfuls of mayo, he knew exactly what he was doing, making his siblings and America squirm. But here's the twist. It wasn't mayonnaise at all. Fans later discovered Garrison had filled the jar with vanilla pudding. Yes, pudding. Sweet, creamy, harmless pudding. But by the time that reveal hit the internet, the damage was done. Some fans couldn't stop laughing, calling it one of the most legendary Brown family pranks. But others? They were furious. That was disgusting. I almost threw up. One fan tweeted, "Even if it's pudding, who puts it in a mayo jar?" The prank had divided the fandom, Team Genius versus Team Gross Out. And the backlash was almost as entertaining as the prank itself. For many viewers, especially women watching at home, this prank wasn't just about pudding. It tapped into something deeper: food, family, and respect. Some thought it showed the fun, carefree side of growing up in a huge household. Others thought it crossed the line, especially at a moment meant to celebrate Kody's milestone. And the gag reflex? Very, very real. Even years later, Reddit threads still pop up with fans debating whether they can ever look at mayonnaise or pudding the same way again. Looking back now, the mayo jar incident has become one of the funniest and grossest running jokes in Sister Wives history. It wasn't just a prank, it was Garrison's way of stealing the spotlight, reminding everyone that in this family, laughter and shock go hand in hand. But fans still argue, was it brilliant comedy or cringeworthy chaos? Either way, it's unforgettable. The kind of moment that makes Sister Wives both bizarre and binge-worthy. So now we ask you, what did you think when you first saw Garrison's mayo jar moment? Did you laugh out loud? Cover your eyes in disgust? Tell us in the comments, because this debate is far from over. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. To understand these shocking moments, we need to rewind. Season 7, Episode 2, Kody's Vegas surprise party. Chaos. Laughter. And then, Garrison appears on camera eating from a mayonnaise jar. Fans online nearly lost it. But here's the kicker: it wasn't mayonnaise. It was vanilla pudding in an old Mayo jar. A prank designed to gross out the family and the entire audience. Fast forward to season 12, another family gathering. Another unforgettable moment. Leon calls King Solomon's endless wives disgusting. Paedon fires back, saying those wives could have left any time. The internet froze. Fans didn't laugh this time. They were horrified. Mini hook. So what do these two moments, one funny, one disturbing, really tell us about the Brown family? Picture Garrison at that Vegas party. He doesn't just prank his siblings. He deliberately chooses a Mayo jar, the ultimate shock value. In a family constantly under the microscope, the joke isn't just about pudding. It's about control. About who gets to set the tone, the parents or the kids. Now contrast that with Paedon. His comment about women leaving anytime wasn't a joke. It was delivered with a confidence that felt eerily familiar. Fans saw Kody's shadow in his words. Patriarchy repackaged in the next generation. Two sons. Two moments. One using humor to flip expectations. The other revealing a worldview fans feared was inherited. Is this just coincidence or a pattern hiding in plain sight? The twist? These moments lived two very different afterlives. Garrison's prank became a cult classic. Reddit threads still title it Mayo Gate. Fans laughed, gagged, and years later still post, "I can't eat pudding without thinking of Garrison." But Paedon's remark? It aged like a warning sign. Fans connected it to his later interviews where he criticized his father, but also made controversial jokes. Was this game night moment the first red flag? One fan wrote, "This proves Kody's views infected his kids." Another, "It wasn't just a joke, it was misogyny, plain and simple." The backlash split the fandom. Laughter versus outrage. Pudding versus patriarchy. But together, these moments revealed the extremes of what life in the Brown family can look like. But here's the bigger question. What do these moments really mean for the future of the Brown kids? The Mayo jar incident gross, yes. But ultimately, harmless fun. It showed how the kids often used humor to reclaim space in a family dominated by Kody's rules and TLC's cameras. Paedon's moment? That one cut deeper. It wasn't pudding in a jar, it was a belief system in a sentence. A worldview where men hold power and women bear the blame. And fans saw it as evidence that Kody's influence doesn't just disappear when the cameras stop rolling. The emotional payoff? Fans laughed at Garrison, but they worried for Paedon. And through both moments, they saw the unfiltered reality of growing up Brown. So is this family just entertaining or exposing something darker about generational influence? Now it's your turn. When you saw Garrison with that jar, did you laugh or gag? And when you heard Paedon defend Solomon's wives, did you brush it off or feel a chill? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this fandom is still divided. And if you love these deep dives into sister wives' most unforgettable moments, make sure to hit subscribe, smash that like button, and ring the bell icon. Coming up next, we'll dive into Christine versus Robin. The betrayal fans say changed everything. Don't miss it.